Ironhide is known to say, "Go chew on a microchip." He always prefers action to words, as he is the oldest, toughest, most battle-hardened Autobot. Serving as bodyguard to Optimus Prime, Ironhide is in charge of guarding anything of importance. Gruff but kind, his trilithium steel skin makes him nearly invulnerable to attack. He shoots a variety of liquids, from supercooled nitrogen to superheated lead. He also has sonar, radar, and radio wave detectors. For all his might and courage, Ironhide is the soughest and most fragile of the group. 1982's Diaclone line in Japan offered two transforming Nissan Vanettes, one in cherry red, and a second that was retooled into an ambulance later in the same year. Both toys were imported by Hasbro for 1984's first wave of Transformers, as Autobots Ironhide and Ratchet. These early figures were meant to transform and be piloted by smaller characters that would sit in a pilot seat directly behind the windshield. However, when released to Transformers, they were simply given an awkward face sticker placed over that seat. Thankfully, in time for animation, both characters were able to be redesigned, and their newer toys reflect these new changes to this day. However, the original look of these action figures is kept alive through the original box art, as well as their earliest appearances in Marvel Comics. After 2 full seasons of safe children's programming, Ironhide got more than his share of featured screen time, more so than any Autobot aside from Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, not to mention surviving lots of severe damage, thanks to his near invulnerability. However, like his contemporaries, Ironhide's toy was discontinued in early 1986, putting him on the chopping block to be one of the first 4 shocking deaths seen in Transformers the movie. Despite surviving his initial wounds, Ironhide's death was the most brutal in one of the movie's most shocking moments. Suddenly, all of the rules had changed, and everything was on the table, and your childhood was about to come to a crashing halt.
No! Such heroic nonsense.
Just like that, we're all back for another episode of Transformers. This is Season 2, Episode 23, The Immobilizer. Here we go.
Move in closer, guys. I want you all to get a look at my new invention.
What is it, Wheeljack?
A clever little creation I call the Wheeljack Instant Immobilizer.
Patent pending.
Hound, the demonstration, if you please.
Man, that hologram sure looks like that Decepticon Dirty Bird laser beak.
Now let's say you're on patrol one day, and all...
Ironhide enters and immediately loses his shit.
Take cover! What happened? Did I nail Laserbeak?
Ironhide, he wasn't for real. He was one of Hound's holograms.
Oh, sorry, guys. You okay, Wheeljack?
Probably, but this polarizer is pooped out.
Oh, wing nuts. I can't believe I mistook a hologram for the real article. My scanners must be glitched.
Plus, you must be kinda stupid when you think about it.
Bumblebee, run into town and pick up a new polarizer, will you?
Gotcha, Wheeljack. Come on, Spike.
And with that, Spike and Bumblebee are off to pick up a polarizer at the Polarizer shop in the Polarizer district. Fitting a Volkswagen through the front door of a video game arcade, Spike and Bumblebee engage in a little diversion.
Unbelievable! He got double bonus points on the first go! Excuse me, may I cut in?
You'll have to wait your turn. I
saw you come in with that cute Autobot. Could you introduce me to him?
You want to meet him? Oh, yeah, sure. Bumblebee, this is, somebody named...
Carly! It's a pleasure to meet you, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee, remember Wheeljack's polarizer?
Acting out of petty jealousy, Spike chooses to be completely rude to his future wife at their very first meeting ever. I bet she'll throw that back in his face someday. With the initiative of a full-blown stalker, Carly is now officially a part of the cast.
Uh-oh, we've got a problem. What's wrong, officer?
Your age, son. Are you old enough to drive?
Oh, but sir, this isn't a car. This is Bumblebee.
Yeah? Let's see it buzz and make honey.
Maybe I can explain, but without actually buzzing.
What?
Oh look, it's Ravage for some reason.
It's really very...
Ravage! Where did he come from?
Exactly my point.
Quick, officer, have you got jumper cables?
Yeah, but...
Great!
Fast thinking, Spike. Ooh, I owe you one.
Sorry, I didn't know you were an Autobot. But the speeding laws apply to you too, okay?
Sure thing, officer. It won't happen again.
And scene.
Wheeljack, we got your polarizer.
It's about time!
Spoken like a guy who couldn't have turned into a car and gotten his own damn polarizer himself.
Demonstration time again.
Right, your instant immobo something.
Immobilizer. It can stop any moving object in its tracks. Once I get a larger model booted up to max power, it will deactivate the Decepticons permanently.
Ravage's objective at last becomes clear.
Since Ravage planted a microbug on Bumblebee, we know right where to find it whenever we want.
Take the first watch, Ironhide. We don't want any surprise Decepticon visits.
Okay, everybody, here goes the Immobilizer.
The test is successful.
It works! The molecules of the water were stopped in mid-motion.
Oh! I hope I...
Needlessly acting like a damn fool, Spike immobilizes Wheeljack.
Wheeljack's been immobilized!
He's frozen solid, and we don't know how to reverse the effect. What are we gonna do?
On Perimeter Watch, Ironhide fails to distinguish a human being from a Decepticon, needlessly murdering a tree in cold blood in the process.
What are you doing here? This area is off limits to civilians.
I just wanted to watch. I think you Autobots are totally incredible.
Trouble brewing. Excuse me.
As the first act comes to a close, Ironhide decides to throw himself a pity party.
The Decepticons took Optimus by surprise because I wasn't at my post. This is all my fault.
Debatable.
Who doesn't love a sad sack? And speaking of one of my favorite classic Autobots of all time, let's talk just a little bit more about Ironhide. Roll the clip.
When in early development, Marvel comic writer Bob Budiansky originally named Autobot Ironhide after TV detective Ironside. Initially appearing in his early design, an updated Ironhide didn't last long in the comic. As his toy was discontinued, Ironhide was one of several classic Autobots killed by an evil duplicate of Optimus Prime. In 1990, his original toy was re-released as part of the Transformers Classics line, leading up to his resurrection in UK Marvel Comics. And in the Generation 2 toy line, he was re-released in two brand new designs, both very different from his original look. Beast Wars gave us an Ironhide who transformed into a long-tusked African elephant, who along with his Maximal teammates Prowl and Silverbolt would combine to form Magnaboss. Later, this Ironhide was retroactively made to be the original Ironhide in a new body. From there, Ironhide became one of many classic names that would get reused in order to hold the trademarks for Hasbro. 2007's live-action Transformers movie brought back Ironhide, loosely based on his G1 version. Diversifying the smaller team's color palette with a new black finish, this Ironhide was more of a violent hothead. He gets urinated on by a dog, and then threatens to murder the animal, for laughs. This Ironhide met his fate in 2011's Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Stupid title, by the way. In this film, he is taken offline by a powerful cosmic rust cannon when he is betrayed by Sentinel Prime. Bummer. Let's be honest, I can rip on these movies for days, but in the end, they made Transformers bigger than they ever were before, and with that, a G1-inspired Ironhide returned for 2007's Transformers Animated, as well as the War for Cybertron video game, and he was prominently featured in comics from the 21st century. He's also seen in the animated War for Cybertron series, one of the very few reasons I still keep my Netflix subscription, as it is the only way to watch it. Voiced by our beloved Peter Cullen, long live this classic Autobot, and his many quotable moments.
Every time I look into a monitor, Prime, my circuits sizzle. When are we gonna start busting Decepticons? I want you to make a special run to Autobot City on Earth. But Prime! Listen, Ironhide, we don't have enough Energon cubes to power a full-scale assault. Ready the shuttle for launch. Your days are numbered now, Decepticreeps. Give me the device now, Optimus Prime! Try and take it, Mega Turkey! So be it! Fire!
Trailbreaker blocks the Decepticon attack.
There's nothing like a force field to take the sting out of laser fire! Autobots, ready? Now!
Proving Ironhide's self-doubt to be needless, the Autobots rally and drive off their foes. Robots shoot at each other in a bold effort to spice things up.
Look out! Gotta keep the Immobilizer away from Megatron!
This is all my fault.
Warriors are expendable! The most important thing is that I get what I deserve! And I always do. You deserve that, all right, Mega Jerk! Rest in peace!
While you're laughing, he has the Immobilizer, assholes. Loading Wheeljack up like a piece of second-hand furniture, the Autobots head back to base.
The Decepticon attack was my fault. I was away from my post when I should have been sounding the alarm.
Ah, knock that off or I'll disconnect your synthesizer. You're a great warrior.
No, I'm too old to be useful anymore. I don't believe that, Ironhide. But I do. I'm retiring from active service, Prime. Very well, if you feel that strongly about it. But we shall miss you, Ironhide, old friend. I miss you already.
That escalated quickly.
Could you show me around Autobot headquarters, please?
Well, sure. I guess I can at least do that much.
Ironhide casually shows off the Autobots' arsenal stockpile. No big deal.
Around. But until the Decepticons change or we pacify them once and for all...
Someone should pacify those Decepticons and their underwater headquarters.
What? Where am I? Back at headquarters. And evidently back to normal as well.
Spike, is he all right?
He's fine.
Bumblebee, have you seen Carly?
Well, I thought she was with Ironhide.
She was, but Ironhide's over there, and she isn't.
Hey, Spike, wait!
Hey, we gotta look for her. She was very upset about Ironhide and all. There's no telling what she might do.
Making very large assumptions about somebody they just met a little while ago. Spike and Bumblebee are off, as always. For some reason, Carly single-handedly attempts to infiltrate the Decepticon headquarters. Soon after, she fails on a spectacular level.
You know, all these years later, going back and watching this episode in particular, it's really weird because it almost reads like Carly has a little bit of a crush on Ironhide. And speaking of Transformers and humans getting it on, let's talk a little bit about human females and their history of being love interests in G1 canon. Have I just been flagged?
Whether we're talking about Spike from the G1 cartoon or Buster from the comic books, human allies and Transformers have always had love interests as subplots. Marvel's Buster Witwicky began his story taking a girl he liked to a drive-in movie, the lovely Jessie. As fate would have it, that night changed Buster's life in ways he could have never imagined. As he became more swept up in the Autobot-Decepticon conflict on Earth, his ability to be available to her became more challenging, Things only worsened as Buster became more detached once he became in possession of the Autobot creation matrix. Years later, Buster and Jesse would briefly reunite as young adults in the bizarre Car Wash of Doom issue. Animated Spike, on the other hand, got a little action on a weekend excursion to Bali. There, he teams up with the tenacious Louisa, and from there, they have a four-way with Bumblebee and her family car. Despite Spike's interest in her, there is a clear age separation, as Carly would leave for college before him. Although we do see them together several times over the rest of the season. It's the episode Desertion of the Dinobots where things first start to come together for them. And later, at one point in Season 2, Spike swings and misses as he puts the moves on debutante Astoria Carlton Ritz. But she only has eyes for Power Glide, and yes, that's the name of an Autobot plane, and not a popular sex gel, which, if it were, would severely change the meaning of that episode's title. Sam Witwicky from the 2007 Transformers movie was played by Shia LaBeouf and is teamed up with the gorgeous Michaela, introducing us to the movie's real hero, Megan Fox's sexy stomach.
You think I'm shallow? Huh?
You think you're sure? No. I think there's a lot more than meets the eye with you.
Okay.
Shut up, Sam. They celebrate their eventual victory over the Decepticons by grinding out their teenage angst while lying on top of poor Bumblebee. Gross. Due to rumored behind-the-scenes conflicts, Megan Fox did not return for 2007's Dark of the Moon. Have I mentioned that's a really stupid title? Anyways, this time, Sam is paired up with the live-action version of Carly, played by model actress Rosie Huntington Whiteley. Introduced through a disturbingly gratuitous ass shot for a family movie, Carly proves to be a strong woman of modern cinema, as she allows Sam to treat her like absolute shit. God knows a woman who looks like this could never do better. In 1986's animated Transformers the Movie, we first meet Daniel Witwicky, Spike's son. As the third season begins, we learn that Carly is in fact his mother and married to Spike. And of course, the newest version of Carly comes from Imagine Comics' new Energon universe. Aspiring to become an astronaut, this Carly takes a dark turn once her father is brutally murdered by Starscream. The incident leaves her burning with rage and hell-bent on revenge.
Ironhide, quick! What is it?
Teletran 1 picked up a transmission from the Sky Spy. Look!
Carly. Oh, Spike will find her.
But Spike can't handle the Decepticons alone. Please, Ironhide, you're Carly's only hope.
Except for all the other Autobots, but whatever, this is his damned episode, don't question it.
Fire!
Skyfire, let me out here!
With random convenience on their side, Ironhide, Spike, and Bumblebee join up.
She's been captured by the Decepticons.
Carly's planted explosive charge goes off, causing damage inside the Decepticon base. In the end, she becomes the victim of her own ticking clock.
Water flow halted, except in the chamber occupied by the female prisoner. This could be most interesting. The show is over. Back to work.
And you say you're too old to make a difference?
Are you all right, Carly?
Yeah, thanks for asking, you tardy wanker.
Ironhide.
Ironhide, great to see you back in action.
Come on, Carly, hop in.
Now let's get out of here!
Wait, where's Ironhide? Come on, Ironhide.
Acting real dumb, our characters have yet to realize that Megatron has arrived.
As you can see, we've perfected your little toy. The effect is now permanent.
With only a few minutes left in the episode, the Autobots know to arrive right here on time in this exact spot for some reason.
Surrender, Decepticons!
Never! Now I, Starscream, lead, and I say attack!
Here, look out!
to get close to that immobilizer.
I'm gonna cream that creep!
Now they've frozen Sideswipe! Brawn, can we tunnel under and come up right beside the immobilizer?
Having read Braun's tech spec profile, Carly puts his special abilities to work.
Signal jazz to begin!
The immobilizer is zeroed in on Prime.
Now, Rumble! Now!
Okay, folks, it's showtime!
Where is it coming from? It's disrupting our motor controls!
With technical skills that will be explained by the end of this episode, Carly manages to reverse the effect of the immobilizer on Ironhide, so he can be reanimated and have the heroic climax he deserves.
He's over there! Something's wrong. I can't control this thing anymore.
Eject the other immobilizer. Gotcha!
That's everyone, Ironhide. I think the immobilizer is ours.
The immobilizer's mine! Mine! No!
Cue obligatory retreat and Decepticons out.
Temporary! Request permission to return to active duty, Optimus Prime.
I think you're already on active duty, Ironhide.
He said duty.
Oh, great. Now I don't feel so bad about the trouble I caused.
I don't get it, Carly. How did you know how to reverse the effect of the immobilizer?
Well, when I saw the Decepticons working on it, I realized the ion flow could be redirected by a simple wire crossing. Of course, I wasn't sure it would work, but it's a theory I've had ever since I accepted my science scholarship at MIT.
Oh, Carly, how would you like to go out for an emulsified CO2 with lactic acid?
What's that?
A chocolate soda?
You're on.
I swear by the name of Primus, these two are gonna bone. And that was the immobilizer. Now, one of the things I liked about this episode is we start off with Ironhide freaking out over a fake laser beak, and then ultimately the climax comes around because he takes action and stops the real laser beak. I thought that was really cool. I do like this episode, but I still am gonna make fun of it. When Cliffjumper speaks, Gear's voice comes out of his mouth.
Immobilizer. What does it instantly immobilize?
What happened? Did I nail Laserbeak?
Wait, is he blind? Did he not see where he fired? How or why is Ravage here? Why is he following Bumblebee? And what was it the Decepticons were hoping to learn off of him if this is the first that they hear of the Immobilizer?
The Vapor say we should vaporize those Autobot fools and fuse their carcasses into slag.
Starscream was just censored in the UK, in an otherwise very well animated and drawn episode. This is the strangest transformation sequence I've ever seen. Also, take a close look at the Lamborghini form that Sideswipe turns into. What is that? So, is that the entire body of water that changes? And if so, how large of a body of water is this? And what's the range and effect of this weapon? And if it doesn't freeze the entire body of water, where does it stop? And if so, does that mean there's flowing water that would still cascade over the top of the waterfall? Why does Spike suddenly run? And why would Wheeljack carelessly leave the control where it could be lost, not to mention stepped on or sat on?
Wheeljack's been immobilized!
He's frozen solid, and we don't know how to reverse the effect. What are we gonna do?
Jesus, aren't you like the doctor and like the only other smart guy around? Shouldn't you be like the last person freaking out and asking questions right now? Get to work, dickhead.
A Decepticon spy.
How dare you?
What are you doing here?
Was she stuck under the fallen tree? And she's okay? I'm just asking because people die from that shit. It's not terribly uncommon. We cut between two shots that are supposed to be separated by the 180-degree rule, but the background never changes. I realize he just quit and all, but even as the former head of security of Autobot Base, shouldn't Ironhide notice that somebody he just took on a tour of the arsenal had broken away to stop following him all of a sudden? And not to mention that she decided to take some explosives with her?
Bumblebee, have you seen Carly?
Well, I thought she was with Ironhide.
She was, but Ironhide's over there, and she isn't. Hey, we gotta look for her. She was very upset about Ironhide and all. There's no telling what she might do.
Their future marriage must be built on trust. How and why do both factions decide to converge here at this exact place, other than convenience and pending running time? Is that a drawn background or an actual photograph of dirt? Because if it's drawn, it's actually very realistic looking. Okay, and this is weird. How does he drill through and then Carly pop through so fast? Shouldn't she be covered with a little bit of dirt? I mean, I know she's a lady and all, but come on now.
Well, I do hope they'll do better next time. And speaking of next time, our next episode is called Atlantis Arise, which is kind of a weird one, and, well, we'll talk about it when we get there. But, in the meantime, feel free to check out my 5 brand new videos, Leo Watches G.I. Joe The Revenge of Cobra, available right now on this channel. And, as always, please like, share, and subscribe, and I do sincerely hope to see you here for the next video. Thank you for watching.
We're about to send up a shuttle. Any Decepticon shenanigans in your area?
All clear, Jazz.
Hey, Ironhide, tell my son Daniel I miss him. And tell him not to worry. I'll be coming home as soon as we've kicked Megatron's tail across the galaxy.
Will do, Spike.